That's a good question. I think that's where we're always battling between like what is real to me and how can this lead me to success? That's the most difficult question anyone's ever asked me. Shoot today went well. It's all the looks we wore today are all from Gucci's new collection. I loved all the looks and the shoot itself. All the layouts looked amazing. It was super quick and yeah, had fun. I think it matches my style like the most because I lean more towards like more retro feeling clothes and style. Yeah, I think that's why it kind of resonates with me, like the patterns and the cuts, everything. Man, when I joined show business, I was like 17 years old. So you can imagine like, what was it back then? It was like skinny jeans and V-necks. And you never know, like one day that might come back. Yeah, I can say I've come a long way. There's been many phases that I've gone through. Yeah, there was that phase, like, skinny jeans, like, and then went through like more of like classic looks, only denim, very James Dean, motorcycle vibes. I've gone through like my hippie phase. I've gone through so many phases, yeah. What separates like a good ensemble from like a great one is one that only you can make look great. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good ensemble, but then for some reason with this particular person, with their look, with their vibe, with their energy, they just kind of take it to another level. Like there's like an extra ingredient in there. So yeah, I think it's the people. I would say that I guess my foundation is R&B. I play around with a lot of genres, but my foundation definitely is R&B. Biggest influence when I was a kid was MJ, Usher, Mario, like just R&B. That really influenced me when I was younger. Yeah, I've always really loved like a lot of electronic, French house music, like a lot of funk, like soul funk, R&B, like neo soul, jazz. I think about like, why am I not like, for example, like a heavy metal person? Why am I not like a reggae person? You know what I mean? Like, why is that? And I think it's just because we all have like a sound in our heads, like our own soundtrack to our life. Mine just so happens to be music that, has like an R&B, smooth, easygoing feel to it, and that, that funky step in it. So that's just kind of my vibration, and then that's the music I happen to resonate with. It all started because of the album I made in 2017, Palm Dreams. No one was expecting me to make that, I think, because I was the typical like TV actor, artista that would make cover albums, and I would be winning awards for songs that aren't mine. I'm grateful for all the people I was able to touch, and for the people that were able to, the people that supported me and enjoyed it. But then me personally as an artist, making my own music was more important to me. I don't know, it feeds your soul when you can create something, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to create an album that was authentic to me. One that was all in English. I wrote the entire thing, produced with my friend, Poor Taste. And it was so different, and people started looking at all the possibilities of where we could go from there. Like, what's gonna happen next? Are you just gonna go do another movie, or are you gonna make more music like this? Yeah, and then people were telling me like, hey, I think you can really do this. Like a lot of people believed in me, like friends, family. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that shift. So I became self-managed and then just focused on music, because at the time, honestly, I wasn't doing okay mentally. I just needed to focus on something that made me happy. I think the number one challenge we had to face, and we still face, are being the odd ones out. That's always difficult, because you're always against the grain, you're always against the current, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of focus and like determination, and also trust in like your team to really stick it out no matter what's happening, especially when you're pushing for an idea that isn't yet widely accepted, or people might still be afraid to try or to go down. So yeah, there's that one. It's really going against the grain and being the odd ones out. That's been hard. I think another one has been staying true to the vision, because not everyone will agree. So I have lost some people that are no longer with Careless just because we no longer see eye to eye. And that's always been the hardest part, because these are people that are like I love and I'm friends with. So that was also, I think, personally one of the most difficult things to handle. I think Careless has always been very misunderstood, and I'm also a very grossly misunderstood person, simply because I don't like to be out in the media all the time, having to defend every single thing that people say. I think that's something in show business that I got used to, which was that to maintain my own peace of mind, I really have to block out a lot of the noise. Time and time again, every single time these issues come up, like my strategy is to just leave it and focus on the positive, because eventually people will see what's true and what's not. So I think the vision for me was more of like a feeling, prioritizing creativity and being able to take creative risks in an industry where everything has to be marketable, it has to be pangmasa, or it has to be like that, you know what I mean? Just being able to make music the way that you like, and also encouraging others to do the same. I think that's more of what the vision was about. I've said before, it's like being the bridge between Philippines and the global market, or I've also said a whole bunch of things, but really that's undefined. Like, we're still figuring it out as we go, and we're just trying to push the envelope and stay on the side of like pushing for change. What's that saying? Shoot for the stars and land on the moon, or something like that? Oh no, shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. Yeah, it's kind of like that. The initial vision for Careless is so big, and I knew that it was a very tall order. We're always trying to get there, but then when I take a minute to look at how far we've gotten, I'm always blown away. So no regrets, not at all. There's many reasons. One big one being money. That's always such a huge reason why people are scared to take risks. Now that's completely understandable, which is why that's something I battle with all the time. Like, we have to make money, but then also we want to stay true to our craft, but then, you know what I mean? So that's a paradox that we deal with every day. Another thing is, sometimes people, they need proof before they can believe they can do something. They need evidence that they can do something before they believe they can. I'm here to say that's completely false. Yeah, you're supposed to be terrified of the things you can't do yet, or, for example, going against the grain where people aren't going. You're supposed to be afraid, and then do it anyway. I think it's when you create without filters. When you really create from what you're experiencing, and you don't try and sugarcoat it, or you don't try and tweak it because you think someone else will like it. I think that's what makes an artist honest. But that's a hard thing to deal with. That's a good question. I think that's where we're always battling between what is real to me, and how can this lead me to success, kind of thing. That's the most difficult question anyone's ever asked me.